My name's Leslie Pulé, and I've been an ESL teacher for 3 years here at Manhattan Bridges and something like 14 years before that. Here at Bridges, we have an art program that I feel is particularly useful for the student population here because our students come to us from different cultures, and they're not only new to the city, they're new to everything that the city represents in terms of a culture and a professional environment. And that's what I really want to do, I think, in teaching English, is teach them the language, but also teach them, give them a sense of what it means to be a citizen of New York City. I think it's really important to be in a learning environment that includes visual literacy, not as an adjunct, but as a really powerful part of the curriculum. It's more about connecting the art and the visual literacy with actual language learning. We have many students whose academic skills are relatively poor when they come to us, and being able to motivate them and get them interested in things through that visual medium really works. I find it great that we really do have access to programs here in the school which bring artists into the classroom. The residency right now with the Pearson Foundation is a great example of that, because it's allowing me to make connections between students' visual literacy and the language acquisition process. SCIFE students, particularly students with interrupted formal education, are able to tell their story, really, through the digital story medium. So they're taking photos with digital cameras, mostly photos related to their personal lives, and at the same time writing texts that connect the photos and explain the photos. Through the digital storytelling project, we've gone through a very logical series of steps in creating the stories. Students are gathering information, writing about the process, as well as writing out the scripts that they produce. We go through the same sort of editing process that we do in any composition writing. I feel that the technology standards are being addressed just as much as the ELA standards, and of course the art standards as well. Well, an interesting example of how the digital storytelling project gives us the means to scaffold instruction, to really, approach the language acquisition process step by step, is the use of storyboarding. The storyboard allows us to craft text, to write pieces of text in manageable chunks. It breaks the text down into small sections, and I think that students really can get a handle of that, can really get into expressing themselves more easily in that format. It actually connects back to what I've been doing earlier in the semester, because we've been working on the writing process all through the semester. So taking that process step by step, from brainstorming and first draft and editing and things like that. So the use of storyboards also shows students that a step-by-step process is a really useful way to approach the creation of a larger body, of a fuller text. There's a very strong element of authentic assessment in the digital storytelling project. Students are sharing in the process of evaluation. What I'm thinking of is, for example, the rubrics that we use along the way. For any particular skill or any assignment, any step in the process of putting together the digital story, students are sharing in the assessment process. It's not just me looking at something and giving a grade or giving feedback even. It's the students sharing in the categories of that rubric and understanding what makes the difference between an interesting product and a less interesting product, or a successful product and a less successful product. think these skills will stay with them right through their college careers and way beyond that as well. There's something about that developing a sense of self-criticism, self-evaluation, and self-worth that comes from working together like this on a project, like the digital storytelling project, that I think is exactly what they need to apply when they get to college, and what so many ELL students just don't have, even when they get their high school diploma.